Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. St Albans District Chamber of Commerce invites you to our version of question time. I'd like to introduce you to our candidates who will all, I believe, be standing for the St Albans constituency in the elections, which everybody tells us is going to be on the 6th of May. We'll see. On the far right of the stage is Jack Easton from the Green Party. Welcome, Jack. To my right, I'm sure many of you know, our current MP and main from the Conservative Party. Rona Mills is sitting next to Jack, and she represents the Labour Party. On the far left of the stage is John Stocker, MBE of the United Kingdom Independence Party. Welcome, John. And finally, to my left, Sandy Walkington of the Democratic Party, also known as the poster boy of the St Albans Mail. Finally, myself, for those of you who don't know me, and as you can see, I don't have a name badge, but I'm Peter Goodman, Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce. Now, this is not going to be a true question time for those of you addicts who watch it on Thursday night. Perhaps the biggest reason for that is that I'm no David Dimbleby. What we do have, though, is questions which have been submitted by members of the Chamber. I know the questions, the candidates do not know them. The plan is that the question will be asked either by myself or from the floor, and each candidate will have up to 60 seconds, or a bit longer if it's interesting, to talk. Hopefully, we will then be able to take a few questions from the floor in relation to that specific topic we've been talking about. Now, we'd like to have a decent debate today, and the election isn't far away. It's really important that we hear what each of the parties have got to say to us. So please, not too many interruptions from the floor, no abuse, and no bad language. Now, the first question is going to be asked by Peter Burton. Peter?
Thank you, Chairman. If elected, what business knowledge and experience can each candidate bring to the role of MP?
John, you start us with that.
Thanks, Peter. That's an ideal question for me. I started off as an apprentice and I worked my way up through the industry. I spent 6 years in the defence industry as an officer in the Royal Navy. I worked offshore in the oil industry. I worked offshore on oil tankers. I was instrumental in some communications, the alternative service of telecom, and subsequently set up my own group of businesses in the construction industry, based in St Albans, turning over $4 billion a year. So I'm a businessman. I know the ups and downs of business, the cash flow problems, the bank problems, the sales problems. I don't think there's any one of the other candidates who can actually match my business acumen.
Thank you, John. Roman?
I'm a child of nurse. My parents opened a very small boarding house very close to the environment where I grew up, with shared one bedroom. I was a very source of entertainment for guests. It was at a time, really, where places like Brighton were places that needed to go on holiday or cheap flights. That's where I grew up. My father subsequently sold that house and we had all the family life and opened up his own business. He was a carpet trader, wholesaler in Southend at that time. We moved to. I rather than push out because it's nice to walk in after my aunt's death, on the side of providing secretarial support and assistance. My first husband was an accountant. We moved to St Albans back in 1979 to get into the evening school, and I was in the fortunate position of being the first at that, which I had all the accounts of the other one, and then to get them right. My own career background is in social work, so I can't pretend to have business experience there. But I worked for 5 years in a bridging cooperative that was set up particularly to provide employment and training for deaf people. I had deaf children myself. I was the cold, cooler on job to have, at one time, got quite good at. Now I don't work in business. Every time I work in social care, I work with carers, family carers, for people who are disabled. My job there is to help them have a more fulfilling and active life. But my background as a child, very much in the entrepreneurial arena.
Thank you, Roman. Jack.
Thank you. Good evening again. I am a chartered accountant by training and by profession since leaving university. I've worked for two firms, a very large one, and now what is generally called a medium-sized firm, although those of you who are in business will know the range of sizes of accountancy firm, of course, it's medium sizes. It's quite broad, and we're all just a doodly squat compared to the very large ones. So I've been nearly 30 years advising businesses, and I'm currently a partner in a firm which has 25 partners and about 250 people. So I know about making people redundant, I know about being short of next year's income, and we've been advising mostly smaller businesses, medium-sized businesses, as a result of that in that firm.
Thank you, Jack. Sandy?
Yes, my first job was loading lorries in a West Berlin aluminium plant, where I was the only Brit amongst the gang of Turks, and it was after my boss, having a member of the UK, went to get them on his flight to Berlin. You've probably seen the scene in Downpool, I read about it in the fall of Berlin. I did various dodgy jobs. I was a swarf clearer, I was a particular crane operator, a printer. I then went into the oil industry, like John. And I worked for Texaco, and I did both commercial jobs. I negotiated joint ventures in the North Sea. I negotiated pipeline exchanges. Ironically, the first terminal I ever went to was Brunswick, which we all know for other reasons now. I worked both in the UK and in New York. And then from New York, I was headhunted by BT, and I went to BT to be Director of Public Affairs. It was a business-related role, because it was actually dealing with government, with civil servants, with politicians, to actually get regulation and law to work better than they otherwise would. In effect, I was the in-house member of Parliament for BT, all its employees, all its shareholders, all its customers. And I went into number 10, went into DTI, went into Treasury. I then had an interesting 6 months in Transport for London, an absolutely admirable organisation, internal politics in the public sector. Just begged belief, and after 6 months we mutually agreed this was not going to work, and I moved on. And I've been a communications consultant since then, which is a polite way of saying that I spend most of my time here doing things in schools.
Thank you, Sandy.
Well, I have absolutely zero experience in business. I come from a working class background, and my dad was apprenticed to a local bus company at 14. I think as a member of Parliament, whilst it's good to know about businesses, it's actually good to be able to speak up on behalf of businesses. And for me, it's been a learning curve. I'm actually now a small business. I've got staff, I pay national insurance contributions, I have to worry about their holidays and how my office works. So I've had to learn a lot about running a business. But for me, it's listening to business itself. So I don't have any business experience. I'm a teacher, and I come from a family background where there was no professional background whatsoever. But what I did learn was a work ethic, and I do know how hard it is to keep paying the bills, keep the roof over your head, keep the business going. So for me, I think as an MP, you need to be a polymath. You need to actually be something to everybody as corporates and be able to be a good advocate for them. So I always believed in being small business voice in Westminster rather than the other way around. As a Conservative, I'd like to think, as Ken Clark said, we need the most business-friendly government. So I'll leave it to the professionals within my party to do that, and obviously speak up very much for business.